Hi, welcome to the first episode of Hit Play Podcast, where I'm just gonna go around discussing, talking about, and even reviewing stuff in pop culture that I enjoy. So for this episode, we're gonna be talking about Drag Race España Season 5. And if I can say one thing about Drag Race España, is that they're doing something right that you can clearly kind of tell that the US seasons haven't been doing good anymore. Because if we're being honest here, I'm a fan of all the Drag Race iterations. I've watched just about almost every single one, with the exception of a few, because like let's be real, there's only so much time in a day, and I gotta work. But with that being said, if I'm being so for real, I would rank Drag Race España to be probably in the top 5 of the Drag Race franchises in terms of how well they're doing. I would probably put it as like number, if I'm being honest, I would put it as number 2, right next to the US for obvious reasons, being the main staple of the show. But with that being said, there's something refreshing and more authentic about the queens on Drag Race España, where you still kind of get that feeling of they're aware of their social media presence, but they're still being themselves. They're not really worried about what the fans might think because they're there for a crown. They're there to showcase their art, which I'm not saying none of the other franchises do, but if we're being honest here, there's a lot more queens that are on TV that probably have a lot nastier of an attitude than they want to present themselves as, which is fine. A lot of people love a good bitch. So then be that bitch. Embrace that bitch. Because if we're being honest here, no one wants to watch someone play it safe. If you know you got the skills, girl, be cocky. Showcase it. And if you want to start a little drama, give yourself a little bit of airtime, girl, do it. Who cares what a bunch of randoms on the internet say? You're still going to get paid money. Not like you committed some heinous crime. So I say do it. Be like the girls from Drag Race España. Heck, be like the girls from Dragula. I don't know if you've been catching up on the latest season, but girl, every time somebody opens their mouth, somebody's screaming at somebody. And you know what I am? I'm set. I'm watching and I'm subscribed. As we all should be. Support your local drag as well. Tip a queen $1 or more, because renting cheap, let's be real here. Now back to Drag Race España. Episode 1 of season 5. Honestly, rewatching it a few times, I'm still kind of gagged. Like, there's something about it that caught my attention. Now, we talk about the first queen. Her entrance look. We're talking about that big breastplate, shiny sequins gown, looking like, I'm not trying to compare the queens, but it's like if Jimbo was a Latina and felt slightly less psychotic, if we're being honest here. Like, those things have to be, like, her back gotta be hurting wearing them, if we're being so for real. And that queen, Alexandra de Varal, girl. Not my pick to win, but I was impressed by her. I was gagged. I was living. Girl, yes. I mean, I know I don't have any visuals right now, but do yourself a favor. Go on the Drag Race España page. You might have to scroll now. It's been like, what, 5 weeks? But girl, you have to look at these queens' entrance looks. They're impressive. They're gaggy. And like, who doesn't love a good pair of breasts? Whether gay man, straight woman, straight man, non-binary, regardless, it's good. Ooh, and then the next queen coming up. It's giving My Fair Lady meets Dandelion. Yes. It's very like simple, sleek. I don't fully understand like the wig, but Margarita Cafarita, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Looking like a rich old lady with a weird hairstyle who her daughter probably convinced her to do something slightly more punk. Living for it. Living. Honestly. Truly. And it's also fun seeing how these queens interact because, like, usually I feel like in the US seasons, sometimes they'll kiki, but they're usually trying to size each other up, see who's like competition, you know? But in Drag Race España, I feel like these girls are kind of just like, while they do that, they're also kind of just like, cackling at each other, cracking jokes, being like, maricón, mira. Which honestly, love that. I feel like that's what it feels like in the back of it, like a dressing room and a drag show where you have queens who probably worked with each other for a long time or probably are just like comfortable, experienced, and they're like, girl, what are you wearing? Just, dragging each other, being a little shady. Now, up next. Now, this look, girl, I don't know how to comment on this look because, like, it's giving army. It's giving, girl, I don't even know how to, I don't, it literally just looks like she just borrowed someone's army gear from like the 19s, like 30s, and just made it slutty. Like Laka Ulidia. I can never pronounce her name. Let's be real here. I will keep trying though. But it literally just looks like a World War One army with a corset, just slutified. And honestly, girl, gagged. I'm living to a degree because the mustache is what throws me off. It's because it's giving it's giving a little. I don't want to say the joke, but it's giving kind of Stalin girl. What are we doing here? I mean, I'm living for it though. Honestly, truly living for it. And even their like boy confessional looks, a lot of them are very cute. Like, hello, hola, cómo estás? You like a little bit of Caribbean flavor, but I also love how she's wearing a Marilyn Monroe wig with this outfit. It's kind of gaggy, honestly. We're being so for real right now. Like, there's only so much fashion knowledge. I will be fully upfront with you guys if you're listening to this that I know, especially about the visuals. Which I'm hoping the next episode I will move on to visuals, give you guys a bit of more of a look to see, especially since Drag Race is such a visual show. And then we have the next queen. I will comment. Her makeup walking in kind of scared me. Is it impressive? Can I do it? Yeah, absolutely. I can't do that makeup though, but it's impressive. But I will say it is low key kind of terrifying, girl, because that is like kind of looking like the best way to put it. Bobo the clown and it had a gaggy cunty daughter. And honestly, living for it because that dress is also giving kind of circus. And I like it. It's cute. It's cute. I will fully it's like yellow, pink, with some blue like accents. But I was just like, I don't know. But Fernix, I believe that's how she pronounces it. I feel like she has promise. She definitely came in screaming, hugging the girls, which is cool. It's cool. I lived. I lived. And it's like I said before, it's fun seeing the queens interact. Like every time they walk in, sometimes you have one queen that's always a little, a little bitchy, a little yeah, haha, like that's so cool. But that being said, I like it. I live for it. I want to see that organic interaction between the queens, especially like because the longer they stay on the show, the more aware of the cameras they become, and then I kind of feel like it takes off the appeal. Not the appeal, but the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the authenticity of their reactions. You know? Okay, so the next queen coming up. Come on, brown skin goddess looking like Beyonce. Oh yes. It's giving Beyonce Renaissance, gold out like silver outfit, but in gold with the money guns. Come on, Crystal Forever. Come on, Venezuela. Living for the look. I mean, I will say from the back though, it probably could have used a little more detail, but the front, living for it. Living for this robo sci-fi RuPaul Beyonce esque outfit. I am telling you guys, you have to go on their Instagram account or Twitter if you don't have Instagram, or I guess we want to call it X, but let's be real. Instagram is probably best. But heck, probably you can probably Google it if we're being honest with you. Just Google Drag Race España season 5 entrance looks and just go down that rabbit hole. Cause a lot of these queens are giving it. in a good way, you know? Now, I don't know how well that speaks to who they are as individuals, but it's definitely like a good look. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you're walking into a show, especially a show like Drag Race, where it's a competition, you're showing off looks, showing off your talent, skills, X, Y, and Z. You want that first like minute and a half to represent you, you know? Ooh, okay. And the next queen coming up, giving Motomami motorcycle realness. I'm pretty sure that's a picture of her, like painted onto that fit. I don't, Nori, girl, I don't know how to explain this look, but it literally is just like a motorbike corset, hair slicked back wet, looking like she came out of Mad Max, the Cunty edition. Girl, cheeks out and everything, tattoos on full display. I'm assuming that's a tattoo. It looks like it is, yeah, yeah, yeah. But girl, I mean, and that has to look a little bit uncomfortable though. But you know what? Living for it. Why? Because it looks cool. I enjoy it. Ooh, and then we got next queen up. Don't know how to describe this, but it's just a red dress, slick back 40-inch hair, black leggings, and just coming and dragging Carmen Farala, which, girl, that's a bold wig. That is a bold. That's a bold thing to say. Come on, Eva Harrington. Which, okay, could we talk about that name, Eva Harrington? If it's, I mean, girl, it's your name. All cool, all Gucci. But I feel like this is one of those like very normal names, unless maybe I don't understand the pun or reference of it. But I mean, again, it's a very bold claim to say that you're gonna be better than Carmen Farala, which anyone who has season one, girl, she dominated. Ooh, next queen. Come on, Miss Mugler. We got a slick dress with the rhinestones on top, a big feather fascinator that opens up, revealing that mug that is stamped. Ooh, ooh, mug down. Looking like Black Swan, Cruella DeVille-esque villain. Daphne Mugler. Girl, she is I would say she is my choice to make it to the top 5. And that's just on the entrance look alone. Because if we're being so honest, girl, I am living. I'm gagged. I love it. Like, there's literally nothing else I can say about this look other than, girl, if I did drag, I would want to look like that too. And let me just preface this. I don't do drag. I'm a fan of drag, drag race, local drag, you name it. I will if it has a man or non-binary person or a woman or regardless of your gender expression, sexuality, whatever, and you want to dress up and twirl to some kind of music or show off, I will probably be seated watching. Ooh, and then we got the next queen coming up, giving some pop girl realness, streetwalker, giving some, I guess, like denim esque outfit with some star like breast top and a mini skirt representing the dolls. Something about NYX I like. I don't know what it is about her, but I'm living. I feel like if I saw her at the club, I'd be like, girl, you want to go get a drink? She looks like she's a fun time. You know what I mean? You know, when you meet that doll that you're just like, yes, queen. Yes. I am living for whatever you have to offer. I am set. I am invested. Because you don't get that every day. You don't see that on TV. I feel like you don't truly see that on TV where you see someone who you're just like, she looks like a good time. Because like I feel like a lot of people on TV are always trying to play this persona of who they want people to believe they are. But I feel like it doesn't always work out that way. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna be on TV, be yourself. If you want to heighten it up a bit, go ahead. Go ahead. But let's be real. Showing off your true self would feel much better with everyone. But I'm also not a producer, so what do I know? Ooh, the next queen to come, all black, looking like death at a funeral. Ah, the icon, the legend. Ugh, this like all black flamenco esque dress, satin greco. Ugh. Now that isn't what you call a legend, an icon in the world of drag. Cause when it came, ooh, I might be jumping the gun, but I did watch, most of the episodes already, so this is just me rewatching them and recapping them. But her talent show, when I say that, one of the like very not very often do you watch someone perform where you feel them accurately representing the emotions of the artist's songs as if they were the artist themselves. If we're being so honest, it had me sat, it had me invested. She was just giving everything. And I love how she does take herself serious, but not that serious. She understands. She's just like, I am a cross-dresser at the end of the day. I'm here to perform. I'm here to give you art. I'm here to entertain. But don't get it twisted. I am what? Professional. And then here, the next queen coming up. This is, I guess, the kooky artist queen of the season, where her looks are more avant-garde, more out of the box, where a look queen might not try to replicate. Demnola Den Bola Marunau. I'm gonna work on the pronunciation, but her black and white, almost like clown baroque esque look with like that hoofy collar, like the single slicked back wave hair on the top of her head, that painted black beard. It's giving like crazy clown in the best way possible. Like editorial clown, basically. It's like visually appealing to the eyes, if you ask me. Cause like face stamped, look cunt in the best way. Ooh, and then we have the next queen coming up, and I don't know how to really describe this. It's like a, you know how your aunt or tia or whoever has like those shades with like those gold accents. They're kind of a little ruffled, but it's not like real gold, and you're kind of just like, well, she's living her life decorating this, looking like the inside of like some bougie furniture store that no one really ever goes into, but somehow someone's always in there. And I'm not talking about the worker, but it's cute. It's a cute look. Don't know how many other people would wear it. La Scandalo, it girl, it's cute. I'd say there, it's cute. Her boy look cute, 100% cute. Hey, cutie. But I don't know something about that look. And I think, was that all the 12 girls? That's one thing when they have like, I guess the 12 is probably the average number for most casts, unless we're talking about like All Stars or Versus the Worlds, which sounds off. Would you guys consider Versus the Worlds All Stars as well, or their own separate entity? Because in my eyes, I feel like they're their own separate entity. Also, speaking of Drag Race España, I will say La Supreme is probably one of my favorite hosts because you can tell there's genuine emotions behind how she feels about some of these girls. And that's no shade to RuPaul or any of the other hosts. Not saying that they don't care about their queens, especially on their show. But I feel like La Supreme takes a lot of the like eliminations and all of that stuff to heart. You know what I mean? Like I forget which elimination was it, where you can tell she was on the brink of genuinely crying because she felt that queen's emotion of like essentially her dreams being crushed. And maybe it's just because like I'm American. I don't fully understand like the cultural impact that Supreme has in Spain, in the drag world and pop culture in general over there. But I know enough where a lot of these queens, especially the younger ones, do look up to her. And honestly, I feel like that has a lot to say about who you are as a performer and as a person. If people genuinely look up to you, especially once you made that your mark. And also, I love how they finally raised up the prize money to 50,000 euros. Cause like, girl, Drag Race US has not raised that prize money up since what, season 9? Season 10? Girl, y'all have the budget. Y'all the only things keeping MTV and VH1 alive at this point. Telling me you can't even offer a half a bill? 400,000? Drag ain't cheap. Being alive ain't cheap right now. And some of these queens are literally going broke just to be on that show. Now, leading up to the opening mini challenge, the queens have to currently go into a ball pit, with the two hunky pit crew guys. Ugh. I love Drag Race España and the diversity of body types for the pit crew members. I'm so obsessed over that one that looks like a bear. I think he was in last season. Chef kisses. So for this mini challenge, they have to go into this ball pit and look for a heart. Obviously, there's always like some type of stipulation with it. So if they win the heart, they get to essentially, you know, sway the maxi challenge in their way. And I believe because during this mini challenge, essentially, if you win the heart or find the heart, excuse me, you get to either save yourself or possibly another queen in the competition. Which, depending on who you are and how you feel you might do in the competition, am I working your favor? Am I not? Me personally, I feel like if I were to get it, you best believe I'm saving myself. Cause girl, at the end of the day, whether we friends or not, I gotta win the money. Ain't no one paying my debt. Living for it too. Cause you just have a bunch of queens in this ball pit, literally just digging for this half a heart. Okay, so they're talking about how you can use it to save yourself from elimination. So essentially, if you got eliminated and you left your heart, you can only give it to one queen, and that queen can use it to save themselves from the bottom. And honestly, I kind of like that twist, if we're being honest. I feel like we need more immunity-esque challenges because I feel like Drag Race US hasn't done that for like how long? We had that with what, season 16, I think it was, with Safira Crystal and Plain Jane winning immunity potions, which, if we're being honest, they both wouldn't have needed it because they were gonna make it towards the end regardless. And I'm not saying that because of production. I'm saying because like they were doing well enough in the competition that they would have to have royally slipped up for it to like not work out. And honestly, we need more of that. It doesn't have to be every episode, but it can definitely be like, I would say that maybe the first 3 episodes of the season. And this is me speaking more directly to the US. Just bring back immunity for the first 3 episodes. Because a lot of these queens work hard, and I know no one wants to go home first. But if you want to make it gaggy, have your front runner in the bottom in the first 3 episodes. The queen that you saw during the auditions that you were like, we're going to trip her up a bit and see how far she lands. And then save her. Because y'all want to win that Emmy, right? Y'all already did psychological warfare on the girls on season 13. The first 2 episodes were just like lip sync against each other. Loser, not loser. And you had those queens waiting backstage thinking they're all about to get sent home and there's going to be a new crop of girls coming in to replace them. It was going to be like season 6, like 13, just being, 30 girls competing for the crown? And then you made the pork chop girls, the girls who thought they were going home, eliminate a queen at that very moment. Girl, y'all were playing in their faces. And I lived. I lived, I'm not gonna lie. Because girl, these girls were gagging. So now they're undressing. They're gonna start getting ready for their talent show, which that's another thing that Drag Race España does right, is the talent show. Because if we're being honest here, if we are being so honest with ourselves, and you can argue with me all you want, but Drag Race España's talent shows are better than every other seasons. They're better than the US, better than the UK, better than Mexico, better than Thailand and Singapore. I said it. I said it. Yes, I am siding with my people's colonizers on this one. They know how to put on a talent show. Since season 1, and All Stars included, with the exception of maybe a handful of queens, almost every single talent show has made me laugh, has made me almost want to stand up and tip them a dollar through my TV screen, or just had me all just, yes, work, mama, yes. Because they're what? Entertaining. Even the original soundtracks, which I know we're all probably sick and tired of hearing it on the US versions and even the UK, because let's be real, those were probably the two biggest ones, culprits of that. Where it's kind of like, yes, I'm a small twin queen. Give me that crown. I am fierce, 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 fierce. Let's be real. We're all tired of it, aren't we? We don't want to keep hearing it. But it's fine. If that is what you feel like your talent is, aside from the drag, or maybe your actual talent wasn't greenlit by production, then that's cool. You do you. But if you're gonna do it, either get a better music producer or hire Ocean Kelly. It needs to be entertaining. Because with Drag Race España, I feel like their original soundtracks, again, just with the exception of a few, it's entertaining. It's either like high energy or some kind of like theatrical experience. A lot of them can somehow doing opera or singing, but it's entertaining. It sounds good and it's entertaining. That's literally all you have to do. And now I know not everyone is a professional singer. No one's like Ariana Grande out here belting. But girl, autotune is possible. Now, not a lot happens before the actual talent show. Literally just like the queens getting dressed, kind of just like getting to know each other. A lot of like emotional stories are being like passed around. And I'm not really fully gonna get into those because like watch the show. You know what I mean? It does humanize a lot of these like drag queens, a lot of these like contestants, and I'm not saying they're not human, but you know what I mean. Like shows love a sob story of triumph. And while I do enjoy hearing those things, I don't all the time. Like if I'm watching a show about someone's talent in a competition, yeah, I want to be able to relate to the person, but I feel like we don't need to hear every traumatic experience that has happened to an individual all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if it comes out organically in a conversation between the contestants, but sometimes it just feels like we're just gonna say it because someone in the back was just like, hey, talk about your childhood. Talk about something that has happened to you in the past that you're not a fan of, or that like was very like traumatic to you and you probably haven't told the therapist, even though like mental health is important and we do have people to help you, but at the same time, we're gonna exploit your trauma. But like make it seem natural. You know what I mean? And I feel like that happens in just about every season. Every single season, every single iteration of this show. There are moments where it just feels so heavy, and it's kind of just like, thank you for sharing your past and, like, how you overcame it and how you're working through it and everything. But at the same time, it kinda felt like, "Ooh, where did this come from?" And especially, like, in the Drag Race, like, US versions, when that happens, you're kinda just like, "Oh, this queen's gonna go home. She's gonna go home 100%." And okay, so now we're on to the runway. La Supreme, girl, this, like, rock and roll cheek dress, it looks so gaggy. She has, like, a bunch of Spanish icons, like, scattered around the dress and, like, this 80 retro, like, racer kind of fonts in this big red wig, talking to the judges. Anna Locking, love her. Lil Javis, they're okay. Listen, there's no true beef with Lil Javis, but I will say sometimes their judging or their critiques tick me off in the wrong way. I don't know why. I do not know why, but just sometimes they open their mouths and I'm like, ugh, eye roll, massive eye roll. Like, what are we like? I don't know. I don't know. Something about it. I'm just not a fan of. Like, I don't know. I don't know what is it about them that I'm not a fan of. And Amaya is their guest judge. I don't really know much about her, but I will say I did like her judging this episode because it felt like she came from a genuine place of like, she's excited to be there. She wants these girls to do well. And that's what I like about that's what I want more guest judges to be like. I want them to be an actual fan of drag and Drag Race and like give genuine critiques to these girls because a lot of them are stars, and I'm talking about the guest judge. I'm not saying the drag queens aren't as well, but a lot of these judges are massive stars in their own individual right. And it's just like, if you want them to succeed, I feel like you need to give genuine critiques. Like, hey, maybe improve this. Like, you have stage present, but like maybe you need to hone it in more, you know? And now the talent show starts. And like I said before, the talent show for these, great. The first up is Crystal Forever, giving you, I guess, an original track number. She's dressed as like, I can only assume as Maleficent. And it's it's hard without the visuals, it's hard to describe, but it's very entertaining. She opens the book up, there's flames, the judges are all gagged. She's like, looks like she's doing casting some kind of spell. And, once she's done, she starts bucking and kicking and driving, doing everything. And I don't know what that outfit is, but it's like, looks like it's inflating. She looks like this scary creature. It's like, girl, how can you move in that? I will say though, if you're gonna do a reveal in an outfit like that massive, you should probably make it a little bit easier to remove because she struggles for a second. And now she's just kicking. She's kicking and jiving to not her original song, but like a Max melody. But she's one of those people where you can tell she's like a professional performer. And I don't know if anyone clocked it. If you watch it, her earring gets stuck in her hair for a good second when she's just like windmilling and just flipping her hair. Like, girl, she literally spent like a good 20 seconds just flipping her hair back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, girl, your neck has to hurt. I don't know how the queens do that. Just like back, forth, like flipping. Like, ooh. I will say I do kind of something I wish some of these talent shows were a little bit longer. Different, I mean, kind of depending on the performance of said queen. Um, like, yeah. And then up next is Eva Harrington, as some of them say on the show. doing live singing, and she sounds good. Kind of looking like Jessica Rabbit to a degree, I guess. She's performing a slow, seductive song. It was pretty good, honestly. I enjoyed it. Would I have made it my top? No, but I was definitely, definitely like safe. I would say like high safe. Like she wouldn't get sent home, not sent home, sent to the back just yet. She'll definitely be there for critiques because she definitely deserves the praise for for her singing and her performance. So slow, sultry, something that I feel like a lot of us enjoy. It's good. It's good, honestly. Nothing negative to say about it. Jessica Rabbit. Now up next is La Escándalo. Girl, it. I don't know how else to say this, but please look up the clip. Is this queen just giving a sexual health class essentially in a comedy skit about wearing protection? And I don't. It's so hard to explain the unhinged behavior that this is in also the most entertaining way. Because outfit she's wearing is like phallic to a degree, but she also looks like this like cartoon esque character. I don't know, but just please look it up. La Escándalo talent show season 5. Look her up. Like literally just demonstration of how to use protection. Literally the entire song is use protection. Also, side note, please use protection. If you have not gone on prep, I recommend going on prep. Don't forget, talk to your doctor, find a clinic. There's resources online. Many of them will help you out if you don't have insurance or if your insurance sucks. It's okay. Remember, stay protected out there. But it's entertaining is the best way I can do it. And I love like seeing the genuine reaction of the queens like in the back because they're also like living for it and singing along to it, and they're just like, "What are we watching?" And I live for that. I truly live for that because it's literally so unhinged. That's also what I like about Drag Race España is they're not afraid to be unhinged. And then up next is Stephanie Mugler, which she's a ballerina, y'all. She's giving you a classic intro. And she was one of those music ball like box dolls tied up in chains. Just elegant, dramatic, beautiful, gorgeous in this purple, like a Swan Lake. If or Nutcracker, I don't know how to it's a gorgeous dress, like just giving you emotion, like mm, just had like poise. And then in a very drag queen way, also does it to Toxic by Beyonce, but in like a Bridgerton like remix version to a degree. The transition to like the regular song, just serving it in like point shoes. Which honestly I lived for. It was gaggy, like it was cute, it was good. It's not something you see every day. I feel like not a lot of queens show off that kind of side of themselves. Where I feel like maybe the only other queen that'd probably not get away with it, but like would do something like that, like doing ballet mixed with like a current pop song. Which I mean, "Toxic" by Britney isn't really current, but I feel like would be Brooklyn Heights. I don't know how many other ballerina drag queens they are that have been on the show, regardless of like where they're from. But it's definitely something that needs to be done more because it's so cool. It's original. It's something you don't see. Like, and then up next is Margarita Calfata doing a painted comedy sketch, which this is another one where it was so unhinged because she looks like a little deranged clown. Like, she's currently spinning stuff on top of, like, she's spinning plates on top of sticks, which and her finger, and, like, not a lot of people can do, which is very impressive in his own right, especially, that she does a little comedy twist to it, which is, if you have to fill up a minute and some seconds, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. As long as it's entertaining, it's perfectly fine. Because even if you mess up, as long as you keep going and you make it look make it look funny. Now, I don't know in the judges' point of view, they'll probably be like, "Oh, that deserves to be in the bottom." But I feel like me as an audience member, I like I like when um, I forget that halfway through, she kinda literally just shows off another breastplate. But back to what I was saying. I enjoy when a queen, if she messes up, she continues, because it's just like, "Oopsie," but keeps going. Because you wanna see resilience. I know that would probably put her in the bottom, like, "Oh, well, you messed up." That's why you keep going, you know? Because even if they say you weren't good, as long as you keep going, what are they gonna say? "Oh, no, you messed up." But you kept going, you know? But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. And then up next, Nyx. Now, this is one of the ones where I'm just like, not saying I deserve the bottom, because it was still entertaining, but if we're being honest with ourselves, not that entertaining. Lux is one thing she served. She looked good, but it was hard to know exactly what the talent show was. Like, was it a comedy sketch? Was it like a performance? Like, she kind of just was on stage talking, kind of like roasting the girls, which I guess if she makes it to like, the reading challenge, she'll be fine. Because there were some pretty good reads, but it was also very underwhelming considering other past dolls on the show have been more entertaining. And not to compare her with other queens like Jurichi, but I was expecting more from her talent show. I'm not saying she needs to buck and kick and windmill and do all of that stuff, but I feel like it could have maybe been refined a little more in terms of jokes or whatever the talent was supposed to be, because it was kind of just her talking about like, "I'm beautiful. These queens are ugly." Like, "Okay, girl, what else? What else? What else you got? What else do you have? Because you kind of need more. We need more." Denebola, that was, I don't know how you want to say it, but it was kind of unhinged. It was came in an all white suit, bodysuit, rough, like puffy collar, white makeup. I don't It's hard to explain what you're watching. Takes paint, kind of like paints herself, I guess, to like make it look like something. I guess you could call it like spoken word. Like a spoken word performance is the best way to describe it. Yeah, I guess that's the best way. It's a spoken word of her, and then the pit crew guys or backup dancers just painting her. It's okay. It's fine. Now, Nori is another one who had an original track, or like I said, I don't know if you would call it original track, but I don't know how they got the budget to sample Survivor by Destiny Child. Like, well, they're being honest, it's not really an original track or anything like that. It's literally just her making a dress in a minute. But this is another one where it kind of deserved the bottom. And And it's not because like, oh, I'm making a dress in under a minute. It's because she struggled to A, make the dress, and B, put the dress on. Like, when it comes to this, because it's been done before by, if I'm not mistaken, what? Bianca Del Rio and Raja O'Hara, and I'm pretty sure somebody else. The thing they did successfully was they were able to get their looks on, completed and on by the time their allotted time was done and still look entertaining. Because you can kind of tell when she was putting it on, it's because there's like a little divider screen that it kind of ripped or wasn't complete halfway through. Because when she walks back out, she kind of has it holding on her hip to keep her from falling apart because you can tell she messed up. It's definitely something that I feel like she should have practiced a little more or maybe done a different kind of fabric because she did with like this gold, almost like lamel fabric that doesn't look very stretchy. And now fit in, hard to tell. Hard to classify this talent show, honestly. Was it entertaining? Yeah, I would say so. But it also was very comedy-esque, like original track comedy, the best way to describe it. Like, the only thing I did enjoy is, like, didn't fully understand everything she was saying, but it was very, like, Drag Race-esque themed, which was fine. It was entertaining. I probably would have tipped $1 if I saw that in person, if we're being honest. I will say that wig that she revealed, which is not like it doesn't not a spoiler. You've watched the performance, you can literally see the hair peeking out from the back of the top wig. It's it was fine. It was safe if we're being honest with you. Safe is the best way to describe it. It was okay. It was okay. That's about it. That's all I can tell you about Friend performance. It was fine. Now, now this one, Santin Greco. If we're being honest with you, that performance, you would have thought she was the artist herself. The emotions, the mannerisms. Like I couldn't imagine how I must have been seeing that in person. Like the moment she started, everyone like haha kikiing and then silence. People were locked on. People were tearing up, and that's how you know your performance. Your performer when you have everyone just silent staring at you. Cause why? Cause you're that girl. You have that presence on stage that not many people can replicate. That is what you call a working professional. And honestly, gagged, lived for it. The best. And as it should be. Like goosebumps when I'm telling you. Goosebumps. And like it's something that not many people do. Like this is why Drag Race as like a franchise needs to bring on older queens. Cause you can't replicate this. You can't like it's hard to recreate that kind of intensity, that kind of like professionalism. And like a idea, not to like change because I'm so over that thing. But this one was also pretty good. It was cute. She had like this little sailor look to it. Good vocals, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a singer, but the vocals sounded great. It sounded cute. Like this is another one I would probably have paid, you know, $1, $2, maybe 3, maybe 5 after a drink. it was that entertaining, you know? It felt very emotional the way she was singing. Like, it wasn't like a high, like, "Ka, ka, ka, ka," but there was a voice crack, an off-pitch voice crack halfway through, which, you know, it happens to a lot of people. It's okay, girl. But does it deserve to be in the bottom? I don't think so. I don't believe so. It was still good though, but I would have warmed up the vocals just a touch before going on, in my honest opinion. Just like a touch. 'Cause I don't think a lot of people like that. But it's fine. She looked beautiful. So that's something. That is something. But like I said before, like Drag Race España, their talent shows are significantly more entertaining, if I'm being honest. Now, Alexandra del Raval, hers is like cabaret-esque, almost burlesque. If we're being honest, if it wasn't for rewatching it a few times, I probably would have forgotten about it. And not saying that it was forgettable by any means. It's just like with 12 girls, sometimes some performances get lost. Cause it was funny, but it was another one of those kind of just like doing butt stuff jokes in a song format. And, you know, it's always gonna make me laugh regardless of the language. But I don't know. Something about like that performance. I didn't remember much about it. And that's not saying anything on her. She's not a forgettable queen by any means. But I just think by the end of that talent show, it didn't do her justice. I feel like she definitely would have done better more in the beginning part than being towards the end. And I'm pretty sure they didn't get to pick the order, but it didn't do her any favors. Especially because like towards the end, she kind of just become maybe that's why they kind of made her at the end because she kind of just toward the end like smothers herself in cake. The queens are living for it. I enjoyed it, but I did kind of find it forgettable towards the end. But it's also like, girl, what are we doing? Like, it's fine. Now, the runway, I'm not fully gonna get into the runway because it you need to watch it, especially for Drag Race España. There's so many queens on there who are just visually amazing. Like, you can not get enough of it. So I definitely recommend watching it and just looking. Now, what is there to say? Definitely would recommend watching Drag Race España, especially season 1, because it was so fresh, it was so entertaining, and you can tell they have, like, the glimmer in their eyes where they're hopeful, and they have the promise of continuing and being so and getting only better. Same, like, with, like, I get, like, Drag Race UK. Yeah, they're still only a few seasons in, but it's good. The queens there want it, and I'm not saying the US queens don't, but you feel the hunger for it more on the international seasons, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I feel like a lot of the US queens, not saying a lot, but, like, I feel like some queens are on there just to try to get the career boost, but then eventually fizzle out, if that makes sense. And I know it's probably hard considering there's so many queens out there already that have been on the show and, maybe the bookings are drying up and whatever, but you also have to know that if you're gonna be on the show, you have to find a way to take the little bit of fame that is given to you and force it to become a much longer career. Because if we're being honest, there's not that many queens out there who took their time on the show and expanded it to a career beyond that, where they don't need to go back on All Stars if they choose not to in order to continue stuff. Like, look at Bob. Bob was on The Trader. Bob had a show on HBO, constantly being booked, has done a lot of other side gigs, toured with Madonna. And has she been back? No. Trixie Mattel, yeah, she was back on All Stars, but the moment she won that crown, even before she won on All Stars, she literally went home twice on her original season. And look at her. Look where she's at now. Now, do I agree with the winner? Yeah. I would say I agree with the winners. I would say it's I would say it's pretty entertaining. Like, you have a good chunk of the queens that are safe, but the winner, I know it's yeah, she deserved that win. Something deserved that win in my eyes. I would say, yeah. As for the bottom, like I would say, in my opinion, Satine won that hands down. Her and Daphne. But what I liked also about this episode was the fact that they made the bottom two queens think they were lip syncing, but when realistically they were the top two. So they're literally on the brink of crying. Like, girl, like I love when they do that. I don't know why, but it's just like, girl, can we not emotionally torture these queens for 5 minutes? Especially like if you hype them up so bad and you're like, I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to lip sync. Pause, pause, pause for the win. And they're just like fully on the brink of like passing out. But I also do like when the first episode, no one goes home. Because again, these queens all deserve a chance to shine for more than an episode. Like, I understand you can't always have a non-elimination season. That's fine. But if you're gonna eliminate it, do that episode 2 or episode 3, depending on how you like if you do a split opening. Because you want the queens to get some of their money's worth, if we're being honest with you. Now, the lip sync between Daphne and Sating, I wasn't screaming, but it was incredibly entertaining. You have a professional seasoned drag queen against like this newer fashion queen who's also a performer. And that's what I like to see. I want to see two people who live to perform regardless of their aesthetics give you everything. Because at the end of the day, they're there to entertain. They're there to show who they are. Like, drag is political. Drag is art, regardless of what it is and who it comes from. But it just has to be it just has to be good. And you know exactly what I mean by good. So they lip sync to Corazón Contento. And they're giving you everything. They're giving you everything. Very like not sensual, but sensual to a degree, entertaining, backbends, that thing of basically just in tucking panties, kind of like I know she was dressed as like the Virgin Mother Mary or whatever, but she kind of looked like the Grudge, just dancing on stage, and I don't know why I find that so entertaining. Like, yes, queen, just wiggle them hips on stage. Lit for it. I hope she makes it to the top. If I'm being honest, both Daphne and Something are my top 5. Top 3, if we're being honest with you. Like, I feel like it would take a pretty hard challenge to knock them down. But after the lipstick is all said and done, Daphne Mugler has won. And well deserved. She did great in the lip sync. Her look was gaggy, and her talent show. Mama, I lived. I would have tipped a $20 bill. I would have gone to the ATM, taken out 40, would have went to the bartender, would have asked for singles for the 120, kept the other 20, and then tipped it. Honestly, truly. And for my final piece, I will say this. Wow Present Plus, if you're listening to this, raise the price money up. Please. You have the budget for it. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next episode where I review Drag Race España, Season 5, Episode 2. Or I might review a movie. Because if there's one thing I love is a low-budget movie that makes absolutely no sense, but it's here to entertain. Thank you for listening. And I hope you stick around. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. And with that being said, ciao. Besos.